My roommate switched my interview time confirmation email with a fake one showing 2 p.m. instead of 9 a.m. I missed my shot at Johns Hopkins. 6 years later, I'm the one reviewing her residency application. Senior year pre-med at UVA. I had one interview that actually mattered. Johns Hopkins neuroscience program. Top 3 in the country. My dream since I was 16 and watched a documentary about brain mapping. My roommate Casey was applying to medical schools too. Different specialty, pediatrics, but same interview day at Hopkins. We'd been living together for 2 years. Studied together, meal prepped together, quiz each other on anatomy. I thought we were friends. The confirmation email came 3 weeks before the interview. December 10th, 9 a.m., Building C, 4th floor. I printed it out, saved it to 3 different folders, set a calendar reminder. This wasn't something I was going to mess up. Night before, Casey asked to borrow my laptop. Hers had died, and she needed to check her interview details one last time. I was in the middle of a practice interview with my boyfriend over video call, so I just said yes and kept going. Around midnight, I checked my email one final time. The confirmation was still there. December 10th, 2 p.m., Building C, 4th floor. I remembered thinking that was nice. I'd have the whole morning to prepare and stay calm. I set 4 alarms anyway. Woke up at 8 a.m., made eggs and toast, did my makeup carefully, put on my best suit, drove the 2 hours to Baltimore listening to a podcast, feeling weirdly relaxed. Arrived at 1:45 p.m., 15 minutes early, walked into the building with my portfolio. The admin at the front desk looked at me, then looked at her computer, then back at me. Can I help you? I'm here for my 2 p.m. interview. Neuroscience program. She scrolled through something on her screen. What's your name? I told her. She scrolled more. Her face changed. Your interview was at 9 a.m. this morning. You're marked as a no-show. We tried calling you twice. My hands went cold. I pulled out my phone right there in the lobby, opened my email and showed her. It says 2 p.m. right here. She turned her monitor around. Different time. 9 a.m. Same date, same building, same floor, but 9 a.m. Someone must have sent you incorrect information. I'm sorry, but we can't accommodate you. The committee has already moved on to other candidates. I stood there in that lobby for 10 minutes trying to understand what happened. Then I drove 2 hours back home in complete silence. That night, I went through everything. My sent folder, my trash, my spam. I found the original email buried in a subfolder I never used. 9 a.m. It had always been 9 a.m. Then I found the second email, sent from a spoofed address that looked almost identical to Hopkins admissions. 1 letter off, forwarded to me while I was on that video call, while Casey had my laptop. I confronted her the next day. She cried, said she panicked, said she didn't think I'd actually miss it, said she was sorry, but also that I was being dramatic. It was just one interview. I'd get into other schools. She got accepted to Hopkins. I got my rejection letter in March, went to my backup school, University of Maryland. Decent program, not Johns Hopkins. I worked like my life depended on it. Every extra credit opportunity, every research assistant position, every summer internship, graduated top 5% of my class, matched into a research fellowship at Massachusetts General, published 3 papers in 2 years, built a reputation. Hopkins noticed. They offered me a position on a joint research project, then a teaching opportunity. Then last year, a spot on the admissions committee as a guest reviewer, youngest person ever invited. Last month, I'm sitting in the conference room with 8 other reviewers, stack of residency applications in front of each of us, neuroscience program, the same one I never got into. I'm halfway through my stack when I see the name, Casey's application. My hand stopped on the folder. Her scores were fine. Letters of recommendation were decent, but generic. Nothing stood out. Solid candidate, not exceptional. The committee chair asked if anyone had concerns about any applications before we moved to final decisions. I opened my laptop, pulled up the folder I'd kept for 6 years, screenshots of both emails, the metadata showing the spoof, the timeline showing Casey had my computer that exact evening. I'd kept everything, not because I was planning revenge, but because I couldn't let go of what happened. I need to flag an integrity issue with one of these applications, I said. I have documentation that this applicant engaged in deliberate sabotage of another student's medical school interview 6 years ago. That student was me. The room went completely silent as I walked them through every piece of evidence, and her application was rejected before I even closed my laptop.